Hey guys, before the video today, which is going to be on the #1 player's tips and rules of survival, basically all his top strategy advice for you guys to get into, I know that a bunch of you guys are going to comment, dude, why aren't you playing Fortnite? Okay, so here's the deal, right? I just want to give you my total honest opinion. This is not a sponsored video. I have no affiliation with either NetEase or Epic Games. However, with that said, I've played both games a lot. Right now on mobile, I'm still more of a fan personally of Rules of Survival. I like how it's more tactical, more strategy based. Maybe it appeals to a little bit of an older crowd, a more serious crowd. There's more weapons, there's different variety of different attachments and stuff like that. And I kind of like how in-depth it goes right now. And I think the controls are a little bit easier too, a little bit smoother for Rules of Survival. I do think the graphics, however, on Fortnite are better. So I'm totally open to what I might or might not cover in the future, but I have been playing more Rules of Survival. So I figured I know what I'm talking about a little bit more, so I'll bring you that first. So anyway, guys, enough of a preamble here. Go ahead and enjoy this video. It's a great one. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Rules of Survival. I've been playing this game a lot. More importantly, I've been watching a lot of other people play the game who are way better than I am. And today I want to invite one of those players. He is currently #1 in solo kills and #2 on solo wins on the UK server. It is none other than iFerg from iFerg Mobile Gaming. Make sure you follow him and check out his streams. Ferg, how you doing, man?
What is going on, Ash? I'm doing absolutely fantastic. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I told you off air, but I never thought I'd have you on the channel. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. But dude, you are a beast at this game, man. You're incredible. I watch you. I sit there with Powerbang. We watch you together, and we're like, how is he, how are you doing what you're doing? First off, I have so many questions for you, but I do want to make this a cohesive, kind of digestible piece of content for people out there who want to get better at the game. So there's nobody better to ask, so I just want to hop right into it. We're going to cover probably about 5 to 10 topics that will make you better at the game immediately, and then we'll do a follow-up video maybe next week on different strategies for early, mid, and late games. So for now, Ferg, man, first of all, how you doing? And secondly, how did you become so good at Rules of Survival?
Well, it started off maybe, I think I downloaded the game around December time when there was like a championship going on, but I didn't really kind of get into the game, and I actually uninstalled because I wanted to focus on Clash Royale. Probably the wrong move at the time, and then I picked the game back up, I believe late February, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I started uploading it daily, started grinding it every single day, and then I think it was about 2 weeks ago, the season reset. It resets just as how it does in Clash Royale. It resets once a month starting now. It's once every 2 months actually, I think. So it's twice as long as the Clash Royale season. And I just went for it, man. I just grinded as hard as I could. I played as much as I could, got better every single day. Picked up tips from some other actual good players as well. And then as I started to play more and more people came into my stream, started watching me, and that kind of made me motivated to play even longer hours, to try and grind even better, to better myself and better my content, to actually bring people pro standard gameplay. Because maybe like 3 weeks ago, I wasn't the best. I did actually have the world record for the highest kill to death ratio 3 weeks ago, though, which was like 53 kills and 0 deaths when I started my new account when the new season dropped, which was absolutely insane. And ever since like that new season started, it just clicked in my mind, like, this is something I should be doing. I should be going into this kind of community, because I was always like, I always loved Clash Royale, but I was never top tier pro standard. I was never like actually good at the game. You know, I was kind of meh here and there. I enjoyed the game, but I was
pretty
never
good though. You're pretty
good.
good.
I was all right. I was never like up there with the pro guys. And then as soon as I got into this game, I'd always been a fan of like shooting games. I'd always played Call of Duty since I was younger. I got Modern Warfare 2 when I was 9. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's Call of Duty. It was the 6th version of Call of Duty back then. And ever since then, I'd loved shooting games. And then Clash Royale, I kind of switched my genre of games and went into Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, because I was on the fly all the time, obviously with school and stuff like that. I love to play on the go, love to play Clash of Clans, love to play Clash Royale, and then now I've transversed back into kind of the shooting games, and honestly, I'm absolutely in love with this game, and I feel like I could really go far in it, so that's why I'm grinding it as much as I am right now.
Man, you're so good at this game that you had to put out 2 videos now, maybe more if I miss some, 2 videos showing you playing with your hands so people know you're not hacking. So that's just letting you guys know what you're in store for. So, okay, let's hop right into it, Ferg. You obviously have a really a high credentialed background here. And, let's start with where else? The beginning of a game, right? So you're flying in. Where are you landing, and how, give us, obviously, if you're landing in the center of the map, you're going to run into more people. That's obvious, right? But give us some more in-depth strategy on where to land and how maybe to best land to suit your play style.
All right, so if you're coming in from the bottom of the map and you're going up the center, you're going to see 4 main spots to land. You're going to see Rust Bay right at the bottom. You're going to see Bitter Lake, which is where I drop every single game. No matter what I do, there's so many players in Bitter Lake. I drop Bitter Lake for Ghillie Island every single game. Beside Bitter Lake, you've got basically... It's the noob's haven. It's Echo Valley, man. Everyone goes to Echo Valley. It was such a popular spot in beta launch of the game that they had to make a parachute, a customized parachute saying King of Echo Valley, because so many people were going to Echo Valley. But now people have kind of drifted off, and they've noticed that Bitter Lake's actually the best place to go because you aren't in a risky situation. It's very, very large, and it's in exactly the middle area of the map. Then when you switch up and go to the top area of the map, you've got on the right side the observatory. The observatory is absolutely, it's god. Like, it's such a great place to land because it's a very, very large area, but very few people actually like to go to the observatory because it's so far out of the action. But if you're going just purely for wins, you're just trying to win a game, you're not trying to go for kills, you're not trying to go for high kill gameplay, you just want to try and get better, try and get some juicy wins, try to get some stuff on your stats, get a high win percentage, high top 5 percentage, you're going to want to drop up in that observatory kind of play field up there in the top right of the map, because you can actually go down into the training base, which is just a couple of 100 meters down from the observatory, and nobody really drops in the training base either. However, there is a few people here and there in the training base, as it's just to the right of Echo Valley. However, if you're just trying to go for top 5s and you're not trying to go for high kill gameplays 100%, you're going to want to try and drop in the observatory as much as you can. As you go over to the left side of the map, say the plane's coming down from the top left, there is a place called Triple Stack Stories. It is where there's 3 hotels right beside each other. This is also a fairly low traffic area. I didn't actually know this place existed until my friends Batman and Bren, 2 very, very large names in the Clash Royale community. I was playing with them on days, and they actually showed me this place. I think it might have been I think it was about 4 weeks ago. They showed me this place, and there was 3 triple stack story hotels, and I was beyond belief, because you know me, I like to go into the action. I just drop it, or like every single game for good content. And when I seen this, I was like, this is like the best tip that you could give one of
Wow, it's like a secret area.
Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody ever went there. And the fact that I didn't know about it and I didn't know that it was there was just beyond me, because I was always going around all of the map. Obviously, every single game is a different circle in the map, and you've got to go into that circle because it's obviously a battle royale game. But when I seen this, I was like, wow, there's 3 hotels just sitting here full of loot, and nobody ever drops here. So obviously, observatory on the right top side of the map, the hotels are kind of the left top, kind of the left middle, and then Rust Bay down in the bottom left. Over to the right bottom side of the map, it is Squirrel Depot. Nobody ever drops there, and for some reason the plane never actually goes there anyway. I don't know why. It never seems to go over that kind of area, but it never goes over Squirrel Depot. I would not recommend Squirrel Depot if you're trying to go for high kill gameplays. And like, I don't know what it is, man. Squirrel Depot is just not a fun place to land.
It's the name, man. It's such an unsexy name, Squirrel Depot.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, wow. All right, I'll just jump on some nuts down here. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Exactly.
All right, so like, if you wanted to play the most passive game possible and basically just hide and get decent loot, would you land in the Squirrel Depot, or would you land somewhere else?
I wouldn't go to Squirrel Depot, but if it's the only resort, if you can't go to the observatory because of where the plane has aligned and positioned, go to Squirrel Depot. But observatory is the best for getting loot and for hiding at the same time. But obviously, if Squirrel Depot's there, you may as well go to Squirrel Depot, as long as observatory is not in the area.
I gotcha. So let's talk about looting, right? So that's the next thing you're going to do after you land, is you're going to start getting gear, right? Weapons, whatever.
Yeah.
So, we could sit here and spend all day talking about every single weapon in the game. Actually, I saw a YouTuber named Hawk's Nest. I'm not sure if you've ever seen him.
Yeah, I'm good friends with him, yeah.
Yeah, he was, I've never spoken to him, but he had like a really good guide on all the weapons. So if you guys want to get really in depth on that stuff. my question to you is, what is your ultimate, maybe your top 2 choices in terms of guns for the game? So like, what do you like to run with? Is it a long-term, like a long range, excuse me, and a short range shotgun? Or do you like sniping? And what are your top choices, like your god tier weapons that you're looking out for and you're always going to pick up if you find?
All right, so a lot of people know this if they know who I am. My favorite weapon in this game, hands down, without a doubt, is the M14 assault rifle. When you put that baby in single fire mode, you can literally, it's 5 shots any range, 5 shots any range in the map. If you can see them in your render distance, it does 20 damage per shot, even if they have level 3 armor on. It also, I believe, does 46 damage to the head if they have level 3 helmet on, which is absolutely fantastic. Then for the secondary, this is going to go to a shotgun. It's going to be called the VRO. I only like the VRO though if I have a bullet loop attachment, because the VRO is actually a double barrel hunting rifle, and when you don't have a bullet loop, it only has a single barrel reloaded at once. But as soon as you pick up a bullet loop, it will turn into the fully functional double barrel shotgun, which means that you can basically shoot 2 bullets like as fast as you can. As fast as you can tap that button, you can shoot 2 bullets, 2 slugs out into the open, and it has the most damage out of any other shotgun. If you can never find a bullet loop, go ahead and use the shotgun called the M1887. It is a great secondary gun to go along with your M14 if you can't find that bullet loop. But if you have that bullet loop with the VRO, definitely go with the VRO over the M18, because the M18 can be kind of inconsistent in a way, depending on whether you have a SG choke on it. Okay. But as for the M14, fantastic weapon. Couldn't say anything worse, or couldn't say anything bad about it.
Yeah, what is your second favorite assault rifle?
Oh, it has to be the AKM, man. Absolutely insane.
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of people say they prefer that as their favorite.
Yeah. The reason that I would say the M14, if you're new to the game, is because it doesn't have the highest headshot percentage, but it does have the least recoil. You see, with the AKM, if I was playing in a pro scene match, I was playing a competitive match with a bunch of pro players, I would hands down go for the AKM over the M14. But if you're just playing public matches, like you're playing pubs, you're playing ranked play, you're going to want to pick up the M14, man. It's the most consistent rifle in the game. The AKM obviously has that one-shot headshot percentage. If they have a level 1 helmet, or if they don't have a helmet, you can literally snipe people across the map, hit them once in the head, and that's them out of the game. That's pretty insane. The M14 can't obviously do that, but it is a lot more consistent in terms of body shots and stuff like that.
Sure, that makes sense. Now let's talk about attachments for your guns. So again, there's a lot of attachments in the game. What are you looking for? And maybe is there any attachment that you think is worthless?
Personally, I think flash hider is completely worthless, because most players, when you see a flash hider, like, oh, cool, an attachment I can actually put on my assault rifle. It is an assault rifle attachment, but the one thing that it does, it hides your flash. And if you're playing a daytime game, which everyone does, nobody likes to play a nighttime, or nobody likes to play in fog. If you're playing daytime, flash hider is useless. All it does is add recoil to your gun, make your gun more hard to control. So in my opinion, flash hider shouldn't really even be in the map when it's daytime. Maybe when it's night or fog time, it's fine to have a flash hider. But if you see a flash hider on your gun, you need to take that off as soon as possible, because all it's doing is adding recoil to your rifle.
Okay, noted. And now what's the best? What are you looking out for?
Well, I like to be sneaky when I play, unless I'm going for crazy kills. So what I like to have on all of my rifles is a silencer. Absolutely love the silencer, because as soon as you open fire, they have no idea where you are, because if you don't have a silencer, you'll come up on the top of the compass. But if you do have that silencer on, man, and you're laying down, or you're kind of sneaking behind a tree, nobody will be able to see you. Nobody will be able to know where you're shooting from. And it's very effective against squads, because you can take out 4 guys in the matter of 10 seconds if you have a silencer, and they won't even know where you are. So it's honestly hands down the best. For public match, it's the best attachment for a rifle. However, if you're playing competitive, you're going to be wanting to use that compensator, because compensator actually can compensate for recoil. It lowers the recoil of every rifle down a little bit. It's not significant to the M14, because the recoil in the M14 is slightly lower than the rest of the rifles, making it the more consistent rifle. But say you have the AKM, man, you're going to want to use that compensator in a pro gameplay or in a pro match. In the competitive scene, compensator, go with it. Ranked play, go just with the silencer.
Awesome. Okay, so one thing I noticed about you too is watching you is that you move around a lot, right? And obviously you stream too, so you want to make it exciting for the viewers. That makes sense, yep. Right? But beyond that, like, when you're moving, what is your general strategy going into a match? So you land, let's say you get the weapons you want. I noticed the one thing that you do, and I'm not sure if this is like just for fun or if this is a real, a legit thing that people should do, but I noticed that you jump all the time when you're running. So tell us about movement in the game, right? I guess focus on how you're moving, whether or not you have weapons in hand, and how often you're crouching, how often you're laying down, and then lastly, how often you're driving a vehicle.
Well, for the whole jumping situation, that's actually a legit strategy. The reason I do that is because when people are trying to scope down, aim down sights, or trying to kill you, if you're jumping, it makes you a harder target. And also, while you're jumping, you're still in sprint mode. So you're still moving as fast as you would be when you're sprinting. And obviously, when you're jumping and sprinting, that means that you can get behind cover, heal up, and actually shoot back, fire back at someone as fast as possible. Jumping is just the best solution to dodging bullets that I can give anyone in this game. If you're running away, somebody's shooting you from behind, you're basically a stagnant target. Of course, you're moving, but you can lock onto someone so easily if they don't jump. However, when they're jumping, man, even I have trouble actually killing people when they're jumping around. It's really hard, especially on a touchscreen device, to actually land some accurate shots on somebody who's jumping. Especially, there's a mechanic in the game, I'm not sure if it's here this update, but it was definitely here last update, where if you jump crouched, it would actually like make your player model slightly smaller than when you just jumped, which was absolutely insane. That like I used to do that so much. Oh man! And people always ask like how I would do it so fast and stuff. But I'm not sure if it's still here anymore. I think they actually took it out of the game, but that was insanely overpowered in the last update, and not too many people knew about it. And a lot of people were always asking me why I was doing it. But yeah, it's basically just to enhance the chances that you will stay alive if you're getting shot at from behind or to the side. Anything that you don't have an advantage of, or you don't get the first shot off, you're going to want to be jumping. If you even hear bullets in the slightest distance, you want to start jumping as soon as possible. I jump at all times, no matter what I'm doing, just in case somebody hits me with the Barrett, because obviously the Barrett is a sniper rifle inside the game, and if you don't have level 3 armor, that one-shots you to the chest and above. So if you're jumping, they're going to be aiming at your chest. If you jump up, they shoot. They're going to hit your toes, so they're going to only do about half health instead of completely taking you out. And most people with the Barrett aim for the chest or the head. So yeah, you're going to want to be jumping all the time, especially in mid to late games.
Okay, and how often are you driving a vehicle, if ever? I've seen you do it sometimes, but is it a good idea, or is it just for fun?
If you're good at the game and you have good accuracy and you're pretty competent in the actual game and recoil itself, you're gonna want to be driving a vehicle around just to get kills. Like I do it just so people shoot at me. That's literally
so like baiting them out, luring them out.
That's all I do. That's all I do to drive a vehicle, is just to get bait so that I can actually kill more people to make my gaming more entertaining for everyone else. If I was going into the competitive scene, I would be nowhere near a vehicle. Like, I wouldn't even try. If I'm going for wins and I'm on a win streak, say I was on like a 5 or 6 win streak, I wouldn't even go near a vehicle just to see how long I can actually continually win matches within the games coming up. But yeah, the only time I drive a vehicle is to get high kill gameplays. Like, I got a 35 kill gameplay the other day, and I was literally just driving around trying to beat out players to peek me.
That's crazy, man. So obviously you can do it if you're confident and you want a lot of kills. Otherwise, probably not a good idea to make yourself that known. One last question that I have for you for this episode, if you guys want to see another one, let us know, is I noticed that you have, like, this is the most jaw-dropping thing that I get when I watch your gameplay, is that you spot people. Like, you might be interacting with chat, be like, blah, 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 and then you'll be like, oh, boom, like one shot somebody in the, 90 degrees to your left or something. So, man, okay, what is your advice on scanning the area, aiming, shooting, firing accurately? And I guess before you answer that too, do you like have the sensitivity, anything special, or even the brightness so you can spot people easier, or is it just intuition in game?
All right, so as for the brightness goes, as for the gamma goes, my brightness on my iPad's about 70%. I can't have it on 100 just because it drains the battery life too like fast to actually stream.
If you could, would you?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. You need as much brightness as you can get in this game. And for spotting people in general, what I mainly look out for is helmets. So the level 1 helmet is the easiest to spot. It stands out a lot when people are prone to grass, because grass is obviously green. The level 1 helmet is actually bright blue. So that's a really easy spot. As for the level 2 helmet, it's a little bit darker. However, It is quite easy to spot because it does have little brown and black tips in it, and then that's really easy to spot if they're sitting in the normal grass. However, on the map that is Fearless Ford, it's quite hard to spot a level 2 helmet just sitting there because a lot of the grass in Fearless Ford is actually brown and very, very dark. However, in Ghillie Island, it's really, really easy to spot people with level 2 helmets. The same with the level 3 helmet. The level 3 helmet's actually easier to spot than a level 2 helmet because the level 3 helmet is actually a very, very nice dark gray color. Basically, it's almost like a blackish gray. It just depends on your power saving, what mode you're in, whether you're in power saving mode, whether you're in balance, whether you're in ultra mode, or whether you're in excellent. Ultra obviously being the best mode to play in. It has the highest graphics. It's the highest. It's just the absolute. You need to play in ultra if you can. Of course, if your device is a little bit lackluster, you're going to be wanting to play in that balance or excellent mode. I wouldn't advise playing this game on power saving, however, because your render distance is obviously decreased dramatically. But yeah, if you're sitting in the ultra mode, it is, once you get used to spotting people at far distance, it's very, very easy to spot people who are a little bit out of the ordinary, spot a little bit of pixels or graphics that just don't seem right, and then you just go ahead, take the shots off, you get the kill, and then you turn around, you might see another guy with a blue helmet sitting in a bush, you take him out. However, there is obviously the Ghillie Suit that you can get inside of supply drops. Now, one tip I have for that is the grass in this game is quite spread out. However, when you look at a person lying down in the Ghillie Suit, all of the grass on their Ghillie Suit is actually really clumped up, really close. It almost looks like a bush. However, the Ghillie Suit is actually darker than a bush. So you want to be looking for things that are darker and packed together with a lot of grass. There is only, the Ghillie Suit is the only thing in the game. The only thing that actually looks like a Ghillie Suit is the Ghillie Suit. Like, you will be able to distinguish between bushes and Ghillie Suits really, really easily once you actually look at someone with a Ghillie Suit and you actually kind of examine what they actually look like. It's hard to explain, but once you get to know what it looks like and what you get to know what a bush actually looks like, you will really easily spot the difference between a bush and an actual person in a Ghillie Suit.
Awesome, man. That's solid advice. Now, what about like aiming better or firing better? You know, do you think that some people take too much care and time in aiming? It seems like you just shoot and fire oftentimes, like just like lock on almost immediately and just try to get the crosshairs close to the target. Any tips on? And I find that oftentimes when I die, especially like in a one-on-one firefight, oftentimes like I'm not sure exactly what I'm missing, but it seems like maybe they just fired more often than I did, you know, like maybe they just unloaded on me and I was taking too much time trying to aim for their, you know, their torso or their head or something.
The one biggest tip I'd give about that with firing and not firing and stuff like that is, in this game, hesitation is the biggest killer. If you're sitting there and you're too scared to shoot, you're going to die. You want to take as many shots as you can, because the more times you shoot, the more times you'll get used to the controls. The more times you get used to the controls, you'll get it in your muscle memory. You'll know what you're doing, and you'll become more confident. So just come out of your comfort zone, take as many shots as you can at the person. If you die, it doesn't matter. As long as you tried your hardest, you'll keep improving every single match. It's just all about keep practicing here. Try and up the skills in one area, like the gun skill area, obviously gun control. Obviously, you're going to want to have it on single fire. You're going to want to have all of your guns on single fire at long to medium range. If you only have an AR, aka an assault rifle at close range, you'll keep it on auto. But if you're playing that long game and you're actually going for that number one spot, you're going to want to have an assault rifle and a shotgun. So you're going to want to have the assault rifle on single fire to make your shots a little bit more accurate, and you can actually spam tap and still have accurate shots. Whereas if you have auto, you're going to have a really, really large recoil up and to the right or up and to the left, depending on which rifle you actually are using. And then you're just going to have the shotgun for the close range. So 100%, you're just not, hesitation is by far the biggest killer in this game, what I see by people who aren't actually pro players or anything like that.
All right, man. Well, dude, I got a lot of tips here in this conversation to carry into my own play. I can't wait. I really love this game, man. Are you planning on just continuing to go, you know, full force into it like you have been?
Yeah. I was thinking about actually doing a bit of Fortnite or something, but as for now, Fortnite Mobile is not really optimized best, and it doesn't have really custom controls or anything like that. So I'm with Rules of Survival.
I think the controls
100%.
are a little funky so far.
Yeah, they're kind of funky. You can't really aim and shoot and move at the same time. So it's kind of I don't know, it's a little bit funky here and there.
All right, well, guys, hey, listen, first of all, thanks for coming on, and everybody listening right now, you should take a moment right now and go subscribe to iFerg. I'll have a link in the description. Any last words, any shout-outs, anything like that, Ferg?
No, I just hope you guys improve on Rules of Survival and obviously keep playing Clash because it's a great game as well. And let's boost the mobile gaming community up, guys.
Let's do it, baby. Thanks again, Ferg. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did. Can't wait for part 2. Maybe we'll cover kind of strategy. Anything that you guys want to ask, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I read all my comments here, especially in the first hour. I'll respond to them. So leave any feedback, anything that you want to know from the next episode that we do with Ferg. If you like this sort of content, let me know for sure. Guys, huge shout out to my YouTube partner, Bren Chong. Check out his information in the description below as well. Guys, thank you. And as always, take care, guys.